welcome to this channel. Thank you for coming. Make sure you subscribe and don't forget to like and also share all we do on this channel. On Edopo, Ighodalo chides Governor Okpebholo over bribery comment. Dr. Asue Ighodalo, the PDP People's Democratic Party's candidate in the 2024 Edo State governorship election, has berated Senator Monday Okpebholo over his comment on national television's TVC news program, Journalist Hangout. Ighodalo said Governor Okpebholo's claim that they are mopping up money to go and bribe tribunal people is thoughtless, is false, and a dangerous attempt to blackmail the judiciary. In a statement signed by Rabo Emopai in Benin City on Wednesday, Ighodalo described Okpebholo's televised comments alleging efforts to bribe members of the Edo State Election Tribunal as deeply irresponsible and representing a desperate and calculated ploy to intimidate the judiciary, poison public discourse, and undermine confidence in a legal process that his suspects may not favor him. He said, "Let it be stated unequivocally, there is no truth to Okpebholo's insinuation. It is a blatant lie, and he knows it. More than anyone else, the tribunal members also understand that no such attempts have been made, will be made, or could it ever succeeded. Okpebholo seeks to preemptively discredit any judgment that does not go his way by making such a reckless claim. It is the classic tactic of a sore loser crying wolf when in reality there is none. The fact is simply that he did not win the people's mandate. It is deeply troubling that a respondent in an ongoing case will seek to undermine the integrity of the judicial panel with such baseless accusations. This is a brazen and irresponsible attack intended to intimidate the members of the Election Petition Tribunal and erode public trust on legal institutions. It is telling that Okpebholo, without evidence for his wild accusations, glibly relies on innuendos and divine invocation to justify his electoral delusions. His statement is riddled with contradictions. On the one hand, he claims to trust the judiciary and believes they will do the right thing. On the other, he attempts to smear them with baseless bribery allegations. Which is it? Either he respects the judiciary or he does not. Senator Okpebholo must be aware that as a respondent in an ongoing legal dispute, the uninformed comments on the merits of our case and his predictions about the tribunal's judgment are deeply subjudice. Having failed to attend a single sitting of the tribunal, he nonetheless went on national television to discuss matters he neither understands nor has the acumen to comment on. All must condemn this attempt to pressure the tribunal through public defamation. It is dangerous, reckless, and beneath the dignity of anyone who claims to be a leader. Okpebholo should be reminded that democracy is not about forcing a narrative, but about respecting the will of the people and the rule of law. The tribunal should take due note of his remarks, not because they carry any merit, but because they expose a desperate play or ploy to undermine a legitimate judicial process. Edo State deserves better. Nigeria deserves better. The judiciary must not allow itself to be dragged into the mud by those who neither understand nor respect the rule of law because they somehow think they are above it. This is typical of politicians who, when faced with defeat, resort to fabrications of lies and fear mongering. The tribunal will do its work based on facts and the law, not on the baseless cries of those who refuse to accept reality, Ighodalo emphasized. Well, it is important at this point in time for both parties to be careful since this case is already before the judicial panel, and this judicial electoral panel is a legal institution that's supposed to hear the case. I think they should allow you to rest with on the table of the panel and let them come out with their judgment. But then, because of response to what Governor Okpebholo said during a TVC program, the journalist hangout, we can see a response from the side of Asue Ighodalo. The APC candidate who happened to be the governor is accusing them of trying to massively bribe the members of the panel. Actually, that is an indictment on the judiciary, and I think it ought not to be. Like this spokesperson from Ighodalo is saying, the APC candidate or whoever is in his media team ought not to allow him to have said such a thing. And the governor is saying such a thing in a way that is going to tarnish the image of the judiciary. But then it's expected for us to understand the tone and the undertone behind what is said. Of course, too, members of the judicial panel are busy now with trying to solve the mystery behind the so-called Edo State election in such a way that at the end of the day, they are going to give a fair judgment that will make all the members of Edo State to be happy. We are looking forward to that. And also for a Governor Okpebholo to begin to speak in that light, I think he really needs to check himself because he's a leader now. He cannot be saying everything. Now, if the judiciary want to take it up on him, he might not really like it because you can't afford to have a case in court and then you are the one adjudicating and also pontificating on your particular case. No, allow those who have been, elected to do the same thing or selected or appointed to do it. Let them carry out their duties and do their job effectively. But in trying to throw jabs at the opponents, you must weigh what you say. You don't just talk because it might have a negative implication on, for example, this time around, a particular institution of the government, the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The judicial arm of the government is very, very vital. Without the judicial arm, even the government cannot be complete. So, care needs to be taken very well by the governor. He shouldn't make mention of such thing even in a public domain, because it's enough for the members of the EFCC to step up and begin to go after these people, and this might eventually lead to what people will be termed victimization because they are not the one in power. So if there's any information as regards that, I think it is the best way for the governor to quietly send information to law enforcement agents and let them take action and allow the case to burst out in the media. That's all what he's supposed to do, rather than taking the law into his hand in court now and then exposing what is not supposed to be a general thing, thereby smearing the judiciary. So he needs to take notes in the future time so as not to also cause unnecessary rift among the people in their political parties or in the judiciary. Make sure you give us a subscribe and your thumbs up in this channel. Thank you very